Hey, this is WhyBeAre with BeamNG.drive, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Ibishu 200BX by D-Troxx, which is a mod for the 200BX, which adds over 400 parts to the vehicle. Now, it has some presets you can choose from, and I'm going to be going through those presets, but these presets do not include every part that is available in the mod. So I'm going to show you the presets, and then I'll show you the parts as well, so you can see everything that is included with this mod. And we're going to start off with the dragster. And if you have a drag car, you gotta have a pretty bright color, so I'm gonna go with flame orange on this one. The easiest way to see how fast the car is in a straight line in BeamNG.drive is to use the performance timers. So we're just gonna add those to my screen in the bottom left corner. And you'll notice that the car is currently idling at 0 RPMs because it does not have a transmission equipped to it, which is a small issue that affects some of the vehicles in this mod. To fix that, all you're gonna do is you're gonna open up the vehicle customization menu, open up the body tab, then the engine tab, and you'll see that the V8 transmission is set to empty. So we're going to add the 6-speed manual transmission, because if I remember correctly, before I had this version of the mod, it had a transmission, and I think it was a 6-speed transmission. So now we're just going to spin it around so we have a pretty flat surface to test this on. Back it up a bit, parking brake on, and let's wait for it to stop jiggling so much, and then launch it. And we should get into 60 miles per hour in a little bit under 2 seconds. So yeah, 1.80 seconds, which is a really good time for 0 to 60. But of course, there are drag cars that are even faster than that. And that's actually a pretty good time. If I did a couple more launches, I don't know if I could really beat that one. That was a good time. So like trying again. Wow, I did beat it. A 1.78. The fastest time I ever had after launch was a 1.75. But the 1.85, that's more along the average I would normally get. Now the thing is, there is an engine that's even faster than the one we have equipped though. The one we have now is the Stage 3 supercharger, but we can get a V8 Stage 4 supercharger. Here's the thing though, it's not that much faster to 60 miles per hour because the thing that really holds this car back for 60 miles per hour is the grip of the tires. So if we launch it here, we can get to 60 in the 1.76 time, which is a little bit faster, but the thing is, you can hit the 1.7 every time with this setup, where the other one, like we hit 1.7 sometimes, this one every time is going to be in the 1.7 range. That is, of course, doing it with the automatic transmission. I could try doing it with the manual, but I'm pretty sure I'm just going to make it worse rather than better, but we'll give it one shot. I did some better wheelies, but yeah, the time was way worse because I don't really know the shift points of a drag car really well. So I just kind of shifted whenever, and well, it didn't work out too well. Anyways, we're going 170 miles per hour. Let's just kind of bounce around a bit and maybe hit a wall at probably 150-ish. 100 times slow-mo. Got it just in time. Now this does have a roll cage, so it should hold up pretty good there, seeing as a lot of the impact was on the roof. The roof should be really damaged if it was a stock version. Roll cage is going to make that roof hold up pretty well. I mean, for a 100 mile per hour crash, that doesn't look that bad. That does not look like a 100 mile per hour crash because the roof absorbs so much of the impact. Now here's the important question. Can we drive it still? Nope. It's done. And now just for extra fun, I want to try to do a wheelie. And I know the camera freaks out when I try to do something like this, so I'm just going to zoom out a lot and hope that works out. So that's as much as we can get with the wheelie bar on, but if we remove the wheelie bar, then we could probably have a lot more fun with it. So we'll just say no bumper at all. Wheelie bar is now off. And again, I'm going to have to move the camera. I think it might be better with a stationary camera even like that. I still have to like really fight with it. Oh, that's a wheelie. That looked a lot better. I wondered, do I really need to do the reverse and then take off? Like I was doing that because I thought it would really get the height as much as possible, and it looks like that is helpful because doing it without doing that, just shifting straight into first, you get a little bit of a wheelie, but nothing like the other one where it just jumped into the air. Like, that's a wheelie. Alright, so I think we've had enough fun with this car. I'm not going to go over all the parts on it because I'll be going over all the parts later on, so let's go ahead and move on to the next car in the list to take a look at, which is the Mad Missile. And I think this one also needs a transmission. Yes. I think it said the tachometer was at 0. Yeah. So I'll put a 6-speed on it because it does have a high-powered V8, and high-powered V8s mix well with 6-speed transmissions as far as I know. And this is a drift car, so I'm going to have to try to drift, which is probably not going to go well. The one nice thing about this car, though, is that it really is hard to, like, fully spin out it. Like, you can see I'm like almost spinning it out, but I'm able to recover out of it all the time because it's able to do that. The way it's set up and the suspension and all the steering capabilities, it's really able to get through things and keep it from spinning out, which is nice. You'll notice that sometimes, though, the front wheel will kind of go through the fender just a little bit. Anyways, let's try to do some actual drifting here, all right? We're going to try to drift through that hole. I did it, but I spun out. I was so amazed that I did it. I just didn't even think, okay, now I got to straighten out. I'm just like, oh my God, I did it. I'm the best ever. I know, it's like a single drift. I'm the best ever. Hey, compared to what I usually do, that is impressive. Usually I would have crashed into both of the blocks that I was trying to drift between. Alright, I could try doing something through here. And if I respawn it, I could save a few seconds for you guys so you don't have to watch me drive all the way back because I gotta get up to speed eventually. Easiest way to do that is respawn. So, what am I gonna do? I guess I'll just kind of power slide through, like, just like that. Just to see if I could go ahead and do it again. This time I'll try to do something a little more complex, which means I'm probably gonna crash. Yeah, that was alright. See, I can do it okay sometimes. Alright, so let's go ahead and use the next car, which is the police. I don't know if this one needs a transmission. Do you need a transmission? No, you don't. Alright, good to go then, right off the bat. So here's the police one. Got the police lights and all that. You know, we could chase another car if we wanted to. Although it has to be a car slower than us, so we could get the sheriff and we'll chase the sheriff or something like that. There. Go get the police car. He's just coasting. And there's the sheriff one. Similar design, but different paint job and different decals. It's got like sheriff decals and stuff. You can see them side by side. Take him out. I like that it still somehow manages to coast after I do this. How do you even manage that? I said take him out. There we go. So those are those two. Oh, I know why. It's because it's in gear, so it'll keep accelerating no matter what. Because like, there's no way it has momentum after that. So those are those two. Just not much to say about them because it's just the little pieces that you see, like the sheriff stuff. So the next one is a 2.0 tuner turbo, which has one thing I'll just show off real quickly. It's the hood. The hood's cool. Look at that hood. It's clear, so you can see the engine. Like, that is just really cool. And this is kind of a show off of a lot of the newer parts on this one. Like I said, I'll be going through all the parts individually, so we're just gonna drive this for a little bit and crash that clear hood, and then we'll start going through parts. Oh no, wait, there's one more thing we have to look at, then we can go through parts. So I'll just let that coast to the wall, and, well, not coast, it's accelerating still, but it's going to the wall. And I want to show you these ones, the Verdietta. I have no idea if that's how you pronounce it, but it basically means the convertible version of the car, which is part of the mod. And this convertible version can be used on pretty much any of the parts that are available for the vehicle normally. And how are we going to that wall? Alright, close, close, close. Now, as far as I can tell, the glass doesn't break in any way different than the metal. Like, it has the same J-beam structure to it, but it's still cool to see it. Maybe it's fancy transparent metal, not glass. That would make sense. Transparent aluminum is a real thing, believe it or not. It's just probably not practical to be putting on a car. And we can do one more look at the convertible with a non-convertible model next to it, so we can just teleport it over here, and you can see how the convertible is made and like what parts were chopped off. One of the more interesting things is the doors are now frameless, where on this one it is a frame door. So I was like, ooh, that's neat. Aside from that, I think we're about done looking at the cars themselves, so now it's time to look at the parts, and to do that, I just want to go ahead and change up the map a bit. So let's go ahead and head over to the port. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the convertible version of this vehicle, and then we're going to change out the parts like crazy, so you can hopefully get an idea of all of the different parts that are available to it. And I decided to use the convertible as the base because the biggest single mod in this whole package of mods is probably the coupe to convertible mod, and everything you can do to the convertible you can do to the coupe as well. One thing I don't like though is the parts menu is kind of all over the place. For example, here's the left headlight. Well, where's the right headlight? No, all the way at the bottom is the right headlight. And then here's the left door. Where is the right door? Way up here. It's just kind of all over the place, so it's kind of hard to find the part you want sometimes. Anyways, for the headlights, there are a ton of options here. First one I want to go over is the rotation. So this determines how much the light opens up and closes, so you can have it like sleepy-eyed, and then you could have it like 3/4 up, and then you have it halfway up. You can have it a quarter up, which is absolutely terrible because then it lights up like the first 2 feet in front of you. It's terrible. I should actually show you the difference between the all the way up versus that one. Like, you would never want to drive like that in real life because it pretty much negates the headlight's abilities entirely. Here, what I could do is I could put it to nighttime, and then you could really see the headlights in action. So here's what it looks like in sleepy mode, or really sleepy mode. You can't see anything. Put the high beams on, it's so dark. It doesn't help. Like, those are the worst headlights ever. You're gonna crash into something, I guarantee it, if you try to drive like that. And for comparison's sake, here's what it looks like normally. So I'll put the full flips up all the way lights on it again to show you the difference. Come on, scroll. It wasn't scrolling for a second. So here's what it looks like. There's the difference. And then high beams. It's like, well, that's a big difference. There's stuff there. I wouldn't have known that with the other headlight setup. All right, we'll go back to normal for a bit, though, because there's some more parts I want to show off. And then we're going to probably hop back into that once or twice more. So the next one is the covers. You can have a carbon fiber cover right there, which looks kind of cool, I think. It's a little tacky, but it does look kind of cool. If you had like a carbon fiber hood, it might match up a lot better, which is an option. Then you could also have no cover at all, which just looks like you have a hole in your car, and then all of a sudden, hey, there's a headlight here, peekaboo. Kind of strange to not have it there, but it's neat that you can have that option. And then the lights. There are a ton of light options, and there's like colored lights. There's xenon lights, so you can put the xenons in. And you can see the color of the xenon lights is like a white, where the normal ones are like a yellowish color. And we could probably put it to nighttime to actually show off the lights some more. So back to nighttime. So you can see over here it's kind of yellowish. On this side it's actually true color to whatever's there. So that's kind of a nice advantage of the... Whoa, I'm still clicking that. Of the xenon lights. Oh, hit the wrong button all over the place. Here we go. This is great. Sorry about that. What I wanted to do though is just put xenon lights on both of them. So here, take a look at that. Alright, and we're going to xenon it up. There, you can see how much wider that building looks because we have the white lights. And then there's also the colored lights. Now there's a lot of colors. There's yellow. There's a purple blue lights, I guess. Is that pure blue? Pure blue. That's what it means. You can see it looks blue there. For some reason I thought it said PURP, but it just said pure. But we got the yellow too. We got green. We got cayenne. You know, there is a lot of colors, and that is a bright green. And we got the OEMs, which is what we had before, which already look kind of yellow. And then we have red, and then we have pink. I mean, there are just so many light options to choose from, and that's only one light on right now, and it makes even over here a little bit pink, you'll notice. Because this one's still the xenon light. It's just tons of colors for the lights. And then you also have the lenses, which I probably can't really show off too well because it's a real small detail, but can you tell the lens is gone? Actually, you can. You can see the lens on this one. That's all the shapes on it. This one has no lens, so you just see the bulb making a really bright area. I don't know if it actually affects how much light it gives out, though. It might just a little bit, but I never actually checked for that. Anyways, though, that about covers the headlights that I could show off, like, at nighttime, because the rest of them, it doesn't make sense to show off at nighttime. So we're going to go back to the headlights. Now, these are all the OEM units. You could also get the low unit. What is the low unit? Simple. It's like a little short version of it. It's so cute, isn't it? And then you could have that one open up only a quarter too. And I think if you do it only a quarter, it doesn't even open up really. Oh, it does just a tiny bit. You could also have your car winking if you want to. You can put it to 0 and then it's winking. And that's the low unit. It also has the cover options, the lens option, and then all the light color options for it as well. The next one is the straightforward unit, which is very similar to the stock ones. And it's actually kind of hard to show you the difference, but basically look at it head on like this. You see these ones look like a proper rectangle. These ones are a little bit off of being a rectangle because they're at a slight angle. It's not a huge angle, but it is a small angle. Right here is the easiest way to look. You see that little gap right there? That's because those ones are angled with the gap. Those ones, the straightforward ones, are not. And once again, you have all the options available on those ones that you had on the other lights. So that covers the units, but there's more. You also have the tuner headlights, which is a locked in place headlight that has like a little cover right here on it. And for that one, I believe you could change the cover to be, you can be the cover to be carbon fiber just like the other lights. And you could also have the filler area, which is this white area right here, to also be carbon fiber if you really like your carbon fiber. So you can do that. And then it looks all carbon fibered up. And then you once again have the covers you can remove. Whoops, not covers. The lenses you can remove. Oh, I keep hitting the wrong things right here. See, it's too much things to remember, I tell you that. So you have just the lights, and then you, of course, have all the different light colors. So you can have the pink lights there, and ta-da, it's pink, and it lights up what's in front of you. It doesn't light up as well as the normal lights, unless you put it into high beam mode, it looks like. And then they're about equal. I guess that's probably a good thing for the people in front of you, right? And then the last light is the GM left headlight, which is kind of weird because it doesn't fit this body style. You have to like change out a bunch of parts for it to match up. So I can go ahead and do that real quickly. So we need to change out the front bumper to be the GM front bumper. And then we need to change out, no, we don't need to do anything to the side skirts. We need to change the hood to be the GM hood. And by the way, GM does stand for Grand Marshal. These are parts from the Grand Marshal that have been slapped onto this car, and it's kind of impressive, I would say. And then we also need to change the fender to be the GM fender. And now you can see what the headlights would look like. Now this is the only side to look at. Just don't look at that side because it doesn't have the right lights. And you can see once you add all the parts off, it looks pretty good. But when you don't have the parts, it looks really weird. I wonder what happens if you have the pop-up kind of just shoves its way through. Doesn't damage it though. It looks like it's gonna, like that grill looks like it's gonna bust, but it doesn't. And I have made one abomination of a car up front. So let's go ahead and fix that by spawning up a new symmetrical car, since my old one's not even symmetrical anymore. So now let's ruin the taillights on one. Taillights though, there aren't as many options as the headlights. There's only a few different variations you can choose from. So you can have it where it's blacked out, and it is blacked out. You can't see the taillight at all, it looks like, through that. Then you have the taillight cap, which color codes it to the color of the car that you are driving. And then lastly, you have one where you can just remove it completely, because you can never have enough weight reduction. It just makes you go faster. So we're just going to go through the list of parts, starting with the seats. Let's move on to the inside so you can see the seats. So they're the stock seats. You can also have the sunburst seats. Come on. I can't see the seat. There you go. So there's the sunburst seat, which looks pretty good. You can also have the Vanster seat, which kind of seems out of place to me, to be honest. It just doesn't match the car. And then we could have the Corvette seats, which actually look really nice in this car. I think they match up really well. A little bit darker than the rear seats, so you got to change out the rear seats too. But if I had to choose a seat to sit in, I probably would choose the Corvette ones. They look the nicest. And then you could also just say, I don't need no stinking seats, and you can remove them completely. And if you wanted to drive from the left side, because you see it's in right-hand drive mode, all you have to do is just go to the dashboard selector and pick the left-hand drive dashboard, and then boom. Steering wheel's over here, so you could drive from this side of the car. I believe there are a couple more steering wheel options that aren't normally available on this car that now are. So you could select those ones out, but I don't know exactly which ones they are. So you saw the list, so at least you know they're there. You can also change the mirror out. So right now the mirror's pointed the wrong way. Adjust it to be the left-hand drive, and now you can actually see what's behind you if something of interest was actually behind us. But really, there isn't anything interesting at all behind us, to be honest. It's just boring back there. Like, boring. So I think that about covers the interior. So let's go back to the exterior and see what's next. It looks like it's going to be the fenders, and I'm going to start with the right fender because that one's the one in the light, so it's a little bit easier to see that one. So the first thing is the over fender, and that's pretty self-explanatory. You can see it once it attaches up. There you go, it's bolted on. But if you don't like the bolt look, you can remove the bolts, so it's a nice clean look. Then you could have it in carbon fiber as well if you wanted it in carbon fiber, and then once again you could choose bolts or no bolts. I honestly have never really cared for the bolts look. I know a lot of people like it. To me, I like it looking like it's stock, not like it was just slapped on and totally aftermarket like the bolted look usually looks like. Then you have the side skirt cap, which is a little piece that goes right over this. And you can see right there, there's the wide body version, so it kind of matches up with the extra fender flare. And you could have it either with bolts or without. Then you could also have it with carbon fiber. So it really matches up well there. It's all bolted on, or you could no bolts. It's all up to you. Then you have the decal. And if you're expecting an actual Panda, you're going to be disappointed because it's not. It's just a small decal that goes over this section right here that makes it black, no matter what color your car is. And you can't remove that section. It's just the decal you can remove, as you can see there. So that about covers the normal fender. And we also have the wide body fender, which looks kind of like all those pieces, but it was actually built into the shape of the fender, not tacked on. So, you know, it's like the fender was rolled out, and this piece is a little bit nicer looking because it looks like it's all a solid piece and stuff. And there's no options on that one actually though. That's just a single option there, so that's kind of easy to show off. Then we have the Grand Marshal parts again, which I kind of went over It needs a lot of parts to look good and right, but there are a lot of options on it that I want to go through. You have the option to have the signal or not. Since it just kind of glitches through things, we could probably get rid of it. We have the over fenders, just like the other one. You can have it carbon fiber with bolts, without bolts, all the same kind of stuff there. And then you have the caps as well, which I think look pretty much the same. I can't remember for sure on that. So many parts. Yeah, it looks pretty much the same. And that about covers the fenders, I think. That took a while. Like, every part takes a while because there's so many options. Oh, you have the windshield, by the way, which can be removed separately. Like, before, you'd have to remove all glass, or just you keep it all or remove it all. Now you can remove little pieces of glass one by one. So now we can go ahead and go to the rear bumper. We have another Panda decal on this one, so you can have it looking blacked out on the bottom like that. And it seems like about half of the bumpers can get that decal and the other half can't. So this is the normal bumper. This one does not have the setup for the dual exhaust. It's just set up for one. So the next bumper is the carbon fiber wide body rear bumper, which is again only set up for one. And this one cannot have the Panda. The regular rear bumper could. You got the carbon fiber dual exhaust setup, which again cannot have the Panda. You got the plastic rear bumper, which looks kind of funny. It's like Panda the whole way, so it doesn't get Panda options. Although it's not really Panda, since it's like it doesn't match up the design of that whole thing, but whatever. You get the idea. Then we have the one we started with, because I'm just going through the list and not paying attention. Then we have the carbon fiber rear bumper, which cannot have the fancy design on it. Then you have the wide body rear bumper, again, same as the carbon fiber one, but not in carbon fiber, and it's only a single exhaust. There's a dual exhaust version of that as well. Don't think there's a reason to do that though. So then we have the carbon fiber, carbon fiber stock exhaust wide body rear bumper. There we go. Which is the same as the carbon fiber wide body rear bumper. I don't know. There's so many bumpers here, man. You got the carbon fiber dual exhaust rear bumper like that. It's just a stock one that's on this car normally with carbon fiber. We got the plastic TE rear bumper, which is all like that again. Then we have exhaust stock wide body rear bumper. So it's set up for stock exhaust. Again, it's like, there's so many bumpers. How are you supposed to keep track of this all? You got wider body rear bumper. It's like wide body, and then there's wider body. Okay. And then you got stock wide body rear bumper. I guess it'd look a lot better if I had the wide body kit on it, because you can see like the gap there. Like, I was kind of ignoring the gap, but you can see when you have the wide body there is a gap that should be kind of aware of. Then you have the wider body, blah, 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 blah. I don't even want to read it. I feel like I'm repeating myself so bad. Here's that one. They all look really similar, as you can tell. They're just small differences. Then you have the wheelie bar, which looks totally different because it just straps on straight to the car and no bumper at all. And the last one, the carbon fiber stock TE wide body. And it just looks like that, which looks a lot like a lot of other ones. Like I said. Then you have no bumper, which after all these choices seems pretty appealing to me. Weight reduction. Woo! Okay. Well, since we're talking about bumpers, we could go ahead and try to move on to the front bumper, which is going to be probably just as chaotic as the rear bumper, if I can find it. I swear, sometimes it's so hard to find things. I'm just going to go through it, and when I see it light up, I'll know it's there. What was that? Something lit up. Front bumper, where you at? Where you at? There it is. Okay, front bumper's right there. See, I wasn't even reading. I was just scrolling. So the front bumper, we have the normal one. Then we have a carbon fiber wide body version of it. Which, well, I shouldn't look at that side. I should look at this side so you can see if you have the wide body kit, it would match up there. But I don't. Because it's too much trouble to try to match up the wide body every time I want to do the wide body stuff. It's just like, yeah, that's totally a good use of time. Not. So then we have the carbon fiber normal stock bumper. Then we have the wide body front. So it's just the same thing without carbon fiber. Then you have the plastic front, which is the same without carbon fiber. Then you have the Grand Marshal one, which, as you saw, kind of needs to match up with only a certain one. So let's just go to the wide body one so I can get on to the next. Oh, I thought the wide body one could have badging. All right. So we'll put the normal one on it, and then I could do the badging, which is a front bumper right there. So on the badge, you could have it yes or no badge. Like a tiny little detail, but you could change that. You can have a decal. The Panda decal, once again, to have that stripe that goes all the way around the car if you equipped it to every single section of the car. And I think that covers that bumper. So now let's see. We have not done the trunk. I'm going to save the suspension for later and the engine for later. So for the trunk, you can do the lights here. So you can have, you can black those out. It's under trunk. That's why I didn't see it. I mean, it's just so many parts I can't even remember them all. And then you can remove it too because weight reduction. And you can have the reverse lights. Reverse lights. There we go. You can remove those because who needs reverse lights? The left side is my weight reduction side. The right side isn't, although it kind of got removed there. Then you can remove the middle light, or you can make it dark. Because who needs to know when you're braking? Although it lights up just a bit. Now that I actually look at it like that, you can see it's lighting up just a bit. And I'm trying to do this with one hand on my controller. It didn't work out. So you can see a little bit of light from that. I don't know how much good it would do for you, really, though. So you can change the letters on the trunk. You could have it whatever lettering, which is the same as the stock one. And you could change this back paneling to say a bunch of different things or have a bunch of different designs. So you could have chrome, which just looks absurd. You can have a 180SX one. There you go. You see 180SX. Then you got the 200SX. Then you got a black one. So it's just blacked out. And then you got a 240SX one. Totally not related to the real 240SX. It's just a coincidence. Then you got RPS 13. You got 200BX. Again, that's the stock one. And you got the color matching one. I hate how I keep doing that. Like it ends up showing the one part invisible. It's like, no, I don't want that. And then you got the carbon fiber version. And then you could also have none because weight reduction. I use that excuse a lot, don't I? Then you could also have the dark right trunk light to match up with the top. That looks great. Then you can put a bunch of different spoilers on it. So you got the sunburst spoiler. Man, I didn't realize the sunburst spoiler was that big. I guess it is though, isn't it? Just on that car, it looks even bigger, I think. Got the X-type. And I can't remember which ones are stock, so I'm just going to go through them. Custom spoiler 2. That looks kind of interesting. Got sunburst race spoiler with carbon fiber. Got GT wing arms. That's kind of a stereotypical drift wing kind of thing. Carbon fiber X-type. So same wing, different color. Spoiler. That one's a spoiler. It's like some are spoilers, some are wings. Oh, we could have changed the sun visor on the inside. Get out of here. You're in the way. You got the small lip. Like there. Might be stock. I can't remember. Then you got that one. Custom race spoiler. Carbon fiber spoiler. We've seen that one. Carbon fiber sunburst sport. That one's slightly different. That one does not match up with that car. That looks weird. Carbon fiber sunburst race. That one looks pretty decent on this car. All carbon fiber on it. And you got custom spoiler 1. I thought I did custom spoiler 1. Whatever. Here's custom spoiler 1 again. Maybe it was in carbon fiber. Regular spoiler. We could skip that one. Then we got the lip in carbon fiber, which you've seen. Sunburst spoiler sport, not carbon fiber. Got the race one in carbon fiber. And you had the race in carbon fiber again. It's the same thing, isn't it? Oh, just the top bar. Okay. They need a different name. It's confusing. And you have that one. So many spoilers. And, oh, did I show the roll cage off? I don't think so. You could have two different styles of roll cage. One of them is the one that would normally come with the car, I think. And then the other one is a different one. So that's the difference. You don't have the top supporting bar. And then you also have like a half roll cage. So it's just the part in the back. Poor passengers. They don't get to sit there really anymore because of the roll cage. Then you have the door. For the door, there's just one shape you can choose from, but you have a bunch of different mirrors. So you could have the normal mirror. You could have a carbon fiber mirror. Over there. It's over there. Or you could have the right mirror, which is black, not colored. The naming is a little confusing there. It should just be like rubber or plastic. It's plastic because the other parts that are that color are called plastic. Then we have the glass, which you can remove independently, as I mentioned earlier. And then you can remove the paneling in the door, which is normal. You can always do that. So you can see, boom, it's all gone there. Stripping it down for weight reduction. So then we have the wide body kit for the rear. So we got the normal kind of wide body style right there. And if we extend it out, we can also have the bolts or no bolts. Then we could have the cap with the cap or no cap. And the cap right here is this part. I'll remove the cap. I could put it in carbon fiber so it's easier to see where the cap is. There we go. So there's the cap. And you could have it not there if you wanted to. Then there's also the quarter panel wider one, which is wider. So you can see that is really wide. Like the fitment of that tire looks terrible because it's so wide. And there are no more options on that one. That's the only one you can get. Then you have the more basic over fender. I hate how it moves around. It's so annoying. And you can have bolts or no bolts, cap or no cap on that one. Then you can have it in carbon fiber, and you can have the other ones in carbon fiber. And then you have the quarter panel wide body kit, which is the same as one I did, I think. There we go. Those are that one. And these ones will always match. You can't have it different left and right. So then you have the seats. Once again, we can skip over that. Hood. There are some neat hoods you can have. So there's some decals you can have. So you can have like the Rising Sun decal. And it works better if we had a white car, but I changed it to red because I don't know. You can have the BeamNG logo on it. Then you have the Sheriff one, which we were using earlier. And then we have another Rising Sun, but it's not scratched because the first one is scratched and I didn't realize it. So there's the not scratched. And we'll go back to the one that's scratched because I didn't realize it. It doesn't really look scratched to me. What are you talking about? Oh, on the sun itself. That's why. I was looking more at the lines. Hey, don't roll around. Then we have a bunch of different hoods we can choose from, though. So we have a Grand Marshal hood that has a hole in it. So if you have the supercharger and all that, and you can have a grill or no grill from this one. So you get no grill, so it kind of looks okay, but it still doesn't really look right. Actually, it's kind of interesting that way. Then you have a carbon fiber vented hood. I think that one's stock, isn't it? Then you have a factory hood, vented hood, hood scoop. Don't think that's stock. Then we got acrylic hood, which I've been over, is kind of cool. But again, it crashes like metal, although it's obviously not since it says acrylic. Then we have acrylic vented hood. So it's the same hood, but it has a vent, which is kind of hard to see because it is clear. There's the vent there. Then we have a cutout hood, which is the one that's used on the drag racer. So that's where the supercharger would be sticking out. Then we have taillights we already did. So we go to the side skirts. And then we could get the panda on this. So you can imagine the whole thing being panda'd out. Although I'm on the wrong side. No. Where is it? Okay. It's just really light. I thought it'd be up to here. There's the panda decal, though. You can also get wide body to match up the wide body parts. And then you could also have the, no decal on that one, my bad. It changed at the last second. I thought it was saying you could. You can have the carbon fiber on that. And then you can have the normal side skirts in carbon fiber. All these options. And that's about that. Ooh, there's a decal, just decal. So that's for the side. So you could have the word BeamNG on the side with a phone number you could call and then piss people off. Then you could have the panda on the side. That's what I was thinking of. There we go. Too many decals. Then you can have police and panda. Because you want a police panda car. You got it. You got a student driver one. Which is, I think, the same logo as the Ibishu. Then you got the police one, which you saw earlier. And you got the sheriff, which you saw earlier as well. Whew, okay. Dashboard, we already did, so we can skip that. Front bumper, we already did, so we can skip that. Then we got suspension, which I'm holding off until I do all the visuals. We got the wiper we can remove. I think that's normal. Fuel tank, which we can remove, which is normal again. The door, which I did. We have stability control, which is not normally available for this car. It's added for the mod if you want it. And that covers all of the cosmetics in a really fast fashion. Finally done, and what an abomination I have made. This is a hideous car. I mean, it looks kind of cool. It looks like super low budget drift car that's just really thrown together. And it's like, I gotta go fast. We gotta get wide body on half the car because that's all we can afford. It's so ugly. We need to kind of just get a new car in here. So let's just go with the coupe version because there are some coupe specific things that I do need to show off. Get it in pearl white. And some of the coupe specific things are I gotta find it, so just give me a second here. I apologize for this. Hey, I didn't show off the push bar. Is that coupe specific? Here's the push bar. I might have just missed it. There's push bar. And the roof, you can have a sunroof on it as an option. So you can be like, oh, I can see the sun. How happy. And we got so much stuff. I know what I'm looking for, but I can't find it. It's the rear glass. Oh, the side glass. That's one of them. You can get covers on it, which you saw in the drag car. So it's actually non-transparent and not glass anymore. And you can do it for the rear as well, which you saw on the drag car. I'm not going to try to find it because I have no idea where it is and I don't feel like spending my time trying to find it. What we should do, though, is we should remove the hood completely. so we can see all of the different engine options available, because there's a lot of engine options available. So we got the normal engine that the car comes with. Then we have the engine from the Pigeon, which gives so much space. Like all this space for things, but there's nothing we can really do to it, like to make use of the space. It's just the normal stuff you can do. You have a dual exhaust on it, which is strange. A 3-cylinder engine with a dual exhaust. Sure, why not? Then we got the V8, which we were using earlier. That thing really fills the engine bay. And then with this one, we have some more fun things we could do to it. We have like a bunch of different superchargers and stuff. So right now it's stock. Then we have a Stage 2 supercharger, which looks different than the Stage 1. It looks like a turbo, but it says supercharger. Weird, right? So it looks like the piping for a turbo, not a supercharger. But then we got the Stage 4 supercharger, which actually looks like a supercharger. And then that does open and close as you use it, just like the vehicle it's from, which is from the drag version of the Moonhawk. Like all these engines here are from something else. Then we have the other Ibishu engine. That is the not diesel one. Then we have the engine from the SBR4. And on this one, we can have it tuned up to be the twin turbocharger, single turbocharger, sport, or nothing. And it doesn't usually have a single turbocharger available for it. And you'll see the turbocharger location is different than the one when you have it in the SBR4, so that's kind of neat. And you could remove the radiator, because who needs cooling? I'm going to run hot. The next one is the 2.5 liter i6, which I don't know what this one's from. Maybe it's I don't know. Can't recall. But you can have that one and you could tune it up. Dual overhead cam sport tuning version, which looks the same as the other one. Turbos you can usually see though. So if we put the twin turbo on, there are the turbos. Ooh, they're so cute like that. Like it's like they're friends. They want to be near each other. I call weird things cute, huh? Then you have the 4-speed, 5-speed transmission. Some have the 6-speed, some don't. Some have performance transmissions, so you have like a shorter gearing, I'm assuming. And probably the top gear isn't really made for economy. It's just made for getting to a good, reasonable top speed for like tracks. And then the exhaust, I think pretty much everything has the same exhaust options. So you have the normal one. Then you have the long pipe tip, which sticks out a bunch. Then we have the LD straight tip, which is just a really fat exhaust. Got the LD tip, which is the same kind of fat exhaust, but it's a slightly different angle to it. It's at an angle where the other one was straight. Then we have the up tip kit, which looks like that. And we got the long pipe kit, which kind of looks like the other one we did before. What was it called? The long pipe tip kit. That one's just a tip, no kit. Then we got the LD tip kit. And the tip kit, it's just like, it just changes the tip a little bit, I guess. Like, to me, those look really similar. Would you stop accelerating just because I hit the wrong button and shift into gear? Yeah, I guess it's just a little bit of a difference there. So we got up tip, which you saw before, but we'll show it off one more time because I wanted to stop it from rolling and I don't feel like downshifting normally. So there's that. And we got the Takayati, which is the most absurd one you can possibly get. Like if you go over an underpass, you might want to watch out for overpasses. I mean, just be careful. Be very careful. And you can have it on right and left for all of those. So that covers the engine. Now we got to go to the suspension. So we have, oh my goodness, every tire option you could possibly imagine. You could get the Bulleye tires, the normal tires, the Ibishu tires. And do I really need to show these? I mean, you have an idea of what these look like because you see them on the cars they come on. Then you have custom rear wheels, which look like that. Got the Sunburst tires, the Sport tires, the Moonhawks. The ETK ones, I don't know what those are from, so we can show those ones off. Those ones might be from the SBR4. No, SBR4 say SBR4. Maybe they're custom. We got wheels. We got the Deep Custom, which look pretty nice, I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah. It's like the ones that we saw earlier that were black. We got the Stretched, which look awful. To me, that looks awful, but it's a style that some people like. I don't like it. We got the Drift rear wheels, which look like that. They don't stick out that much. Sometimes drift wheels stick out some. We got custom light gray. Doesn't look that light gray to me. Got off-road tires if you want it to be crazy. That really fills in the space though. Got the ETK2. Looks pretty nice. the deep dish. You've seen deep dish before. We got ETK 3. Yeah, those have to be from the SBR4. I swear those are from the SBR4. Enhance. What does that say? That says ETK. Maybe it's not, huh? And we got the stock Pessima wheels if you want those. Like, wheels. So many options. And then we got the suspension. We got big camber rear coilovers. So you can have like all that camber if that's your thing. Just don't put the drag version with that because you'll have no traction at all. And we got the low rear coilover, and you can see there's a little bit of the tire going through that, it looks like. Just a bit. Then we have the sport rear coilover, which I think is stock. Then we have the race rear coilover, which is a little bit higher than the low. And we can have hubcaps, every hubcap option available if you have a wheel that takes hubcaps. This one doesn't take hubcaps though, so I can't show them off. Well, I could, but not worth it. So then we have the bolt pattern of the brakes you can even choose. So you can say, I want a 4-bolt large, and you can't even really see it with the wheel on. I should remove the wheel. Although, is the wheel? No. You can remove the wheel and it should still be able to see the brakes. Alright, so there we go. So you can see there's the 4-bolt, and you get the 5-bolt. I really can't see it still. It's too dark. But you have all these bolt options, and it's like, you can try to see the bolts, but you really can't. There has to be a camera angle where you can, but I just can't seem to get one that's good. Also, I might just be missing, even though it's there and I just can't see it. We got a few different sway bars. I think those are the stock ones. A few different differential options. We got welded, limited slip, 2 limited slips, and then the normal one. And I think that about covers the rear suspension. So now we go to the front suspension, which is, I don't know where that is. There it is. I'm getting tired. Like, this is just read. Now read some more. Woo! Alright, so we got all the wheels as before. Then we got the struts. We got a bunch of different struts here. You can get low ones, like so. One thing though, I don't think there's yeah, there's no cambered fronts, just the rears. Anyways, you got sway bar, one option there. Brakes, similar options. Oh, you have race and normal brakes too, and sport. Maybe those ones you could probably see the visual difference a little bit easier. Get the wheels off. We gotta look at the brakes. There, you can actually really see the difference. You can see it's like colored and all, and then the racing ones are bigger than the sport. And you have again the bolt pattern. 4-bolt. Wait a minute, I just realized something. Hold on. I was thinking these were 4-piston. Like, that's different. I don't know why, but for some reason, I'm just getting tired from reading so much. That is the bolt pattern of the wheel, maybe. Not, like I said, I was just thinking, oh, that's the number of pistons on the brake. But that's not it. It's the bolt pattern for the wheel, maybe. Oh, look at that. It actually shows up now. So you can see it just kind of sticks through the wheel in the wrong places, though, because it doesn't have a 6-bolt setup, and I think some of the wheels are 6-bolt. This one, if we get a 5, there we go, it matches up well. So let me see. I swear some of them were 6-bolt, like the SBRs. Aren't those ones 6? Oh, I guess not. So that's why you would change that out, so it matches up with whatever wheels you put on it. Like this one's 5 again. But if you put the wrong ones on, it looks funky because you have it sticking out like that. That makes a lot more sense. See, I was thinking, oh, pistons, not bolts. So then we got 2 other steering lock options. So that means with the normal one, it steers this much. You put the drift one, it steers a little bit more. And then it also steers a little bit faster, it looks like. Then you have the big lock, which has a ton of steering to it. That one's huge. And I think that covers everything in this mod. Trying to do it kind of fast, and it's kind of boring, honestly. I know this was kind of a boring video because it's like, look at this, look at that, look at this, look at that, look at this, look at that, look at that, look at this, that. But that's kind of what you have to do for this mod, just because there's so many things. Like, there is a lot of things, and a lot of them are things you've seen before because they're from other vehicles. So yeah, that'll be the end for this video. I don't really like the way it came out, to be honest, but what you gonna do? I've done too many takes at this to really try it again. Like, this video has taken me days and days and days just to get this one, which I'm okay with. So I'm just like, you know what, we're done. That's it. I'm not touching this video anymore. So until next time, WhyBeAre, I'll see ya.